Everybody, and here we are back with issue 57 of the official Starships Collection, which is the Romulan Bird-of-Prey from the 2260s. As we know, 2260s is the original series. I'm recording this straight after the Sabre class issue 56. So if you've watched that, if you've not watched that, go and watch it. If you've watched that, thanks very much for coming and watching the second one. So this review is actually being done 1 to 3 weeks and about 3 days before the ship is out on the shelves, because subscribers, for some reason, and amazingly, we all got them on Friday, which probably makes up for when we got the Steam Runner and the Dakir class late. Actually, we got the Steam Runner and Dakir class after the Steam Runner had been on the shelves, if you're a subscriber. But anyway, that's another story for another time. A little bit more of it on the blog if you have read through. So this is the second, I'm hoping I've got that right, second original series entry from the Starships Collection. So we've had the issue 50 original series USS Enterprise NCC 1701 Constitution class, and this is the second one. So we've still got the Antares, which was animated series and is in remastered. We've still got the D7 to come. We've still got the Botany Bay to come. I'm hoping we're going to get an original series Tholian ship. I know it'll be really, really plain, but I'm a big fan of Tholian stuff. Really hope we get that, and potentially the Gorn ship, which was done for the remaster stuff and has been used as a ship in Attack Wing as well. But anyway, we're here to talk about this one, which is the Romulan Bird-of-Prey, the original, the classic, the one that brought the Bird-of-Prey name into the Star Trek universe, created by Hua Chang. In 2 weeks, believe it or not, as is detailed within the rather good magazine this time. So here we have it. The stand is pretty good for this one. It's different. It fits around the rear of the hull and over the, there you go, just dropping it off just to prove it, and over the stabilizing fin. So let's just pop it off. A really good stable stand, he says, as it rocks backwards and forwards. So I'll just pop that one off, move the stand to the side. It's got a little bit of weight behind it. Unusually, and I'm not going to turn this over just yet because I don't want to kind of jump the gun. Unusually, the bottom section is metal, and then you've got the top section is plastic, and the nacelles, as usual, are plastic. The struts are metal as well this time, as you may be able to hear. So Ben Robinson was quite worried because the original series models are all very, very plain. There's very little surface detail on them, and there's not really a lot to do. So he's kind of worried that these were going to look a bit poor. I think, on the other hand, this looks absolutely stunning. And I think the fact that it is really plain and really simple works an absolute treat. I can understand that he was worried it looked like a bit of a toy, but they did make some slight changes to kind of screenify it, if you will. So you've got quite a simple detail on the top of the ship. You've got some portholes. It says that this is a sensor grid. I, to be honest, I'm more convinced that this is these are just more portholes. And around the edge, you've just got some simple portholes again, and this plasma torpedo launcher, which is the central one there, which is really nice. You've got the stabilizing fin, which is really sharp. Yeah, watch out for that. It's a really quite sharp part into the back. And then you've just got some detailing, which is to emphasize those kind of bird features. So it's kind of bird feather edging that they've done here in the gold. Now, what you'll notice is it's not quite that gold, and it's because they actually added some film grain into this to make it look a bit more screen realistic. So it's just slightly off gold, and it does kind of have a bit of texture. It's not textures in physical texture, but as in visual texture has been added to it. And you'll see a bit more of that as we go on. The warp nacelles, well, they say warp, they're not warp nacelles because apparently it didn't travel up warp, but I think that was just because it wasn't cloaked. And I think when it was not cloaked, it would be at warp capable. When it was cloaked, it would just be impulse power. Lovely silver caps on these, and also these blue translucent sections they put on for the sort of end caps. I can't say Bassard collectors because they're Romulan, but they are really nice, and they've got a bit of transfer on there again with that sort of graining in there. But that's to do with something else, which we'll come to shortly. As you look to the rear, there is what, according to the magazine, is impulse engines. Now, that would, of course, go against what we've seen and what it said that these potentially are the impulse engines. But I think, honestly, these are warp engines, and this is your impulse engine. As you will spot, and it's a typical thing with this, the impulse engine black spottage doesn't line up with the recesses once again. We had this on the Sabre class, which was issue 56, which is the one we talked about last time. And again, it's happened exactly the same here. I'm trying not to show you the underside of this, but I'm just blowing my cover all the time here. My other issue with this ship is some of the join lines. So you can see the join round here, which is connecting this metal underside to the plastic top section. But if you look in the light on mine, and this is probably not something that everybody will see, you'll see there you go, this spot here. And I've got one on the tail, which is just about under my finger there. You'll see it, it's kind of a curved shape. And there is also one, I'm going to have to try and find this now, there is also one which is on the transfer on the outside of the engines, and I can't find it for the life of me. Yeah, there it is. There, just above my nail. You'll see a darker spot. I'm just circling it there. And these are glue spots. So whoever's put this together has managed to glue on the outside of my hull. Also, you'll notice this flipping huge gap there, which I can't even press down. And it just won't go. And there's a gap there, and if you look at the other side, that's what it should look like. But on mine, it looks like that, which is wonderful. So there's a slight raised gap, and you can even see it there, that it's raised up against the rest of the hull. So not greatly thrilled with that. So I'm going to turn them over now. I've completely blown my cover on the fact that this has got the world's greatest transfer underneath it. But hey, there we go. Ta-da! It's the Romulan Bird-of-Prey. And you've got to say, impressive. It is a single decal. So if I can shine it in the light, which is always a good idea, you'll see it's actually one single piece from engine to engine. You've got the two bits that are just on these nacelles. I can feel that bump now. It's there. It's really annoying me. It's also got these 3 points which appear to be for landing gear. But the big thing with this is that it's got this absolutely stunning, huge single transfer of that bird of prey. And it's just great. It's 3 colours. It's very straightforward. It's just yellow, orange, silver with a bit of film grain in there. There's a bit of black on the tips as well, sorry. But it's just beautiful. It's just absolutely glorious that they've managed to do this and make it look this good and do it in probably what is mass production. So I'm really, really happy with that. And I know it bugs me that there are a couple of errors with this one, that there are a couple of things, and you can see it in the light where they got that glue. You can see it there. But I don't care, because I think this is one of the really nicest models. And I was looking forward to the Sabre class a little bit more than this one. But I actually prefer this, even though it's got some slight errors, because it is a true classic. It is the Hua Chang original. It is one of the ultimate ships from the original series, the one that the Enterprise Bird of Prey was designed from, effectively, the one that kind of started the Romulans off. And I really like the design. I think it's just a classic, simple design. It's just got 2 engines, struts, and a sort of semicircular hull. And it's just great. So I can't complain with this. And I've gone for 8 minutes just talking about this ship because it's just beautiful. And if you're not thinking of getting this one, I really think you should, because it is one of those that is a true collector's item of the series, because it is the original series. And this is what really Star Trek is all about and where it all came from. So I absolutely think you should get this one. Let's have a look at the magazine before I kind of go off into dreamland. As I said, Romulan Bird-of-Prey 2260s. Standard sort of features in here, 131 metre length, plasma-based torpedoes, which is all great. Really nice photographs in here. They've done a bit of weathering on them so that the whole colour is a little bit different to the one that you get in the box. It's a little bit darker, but you're still getting all the features that you've got on the model. And it just looks brilliant. So there's quite a lot of detail about Balanced Terror, which is the original series episode that this ship appeared in. A little bit about the Deadly Years, which was an episode that reused footage from Balanced Terror. And then also a little bit, which is great, about the Enterprise incident from Season 3. So actually this ship appeared in all 3 seasons, but only because they removed a D7 Klingon cruiser and put that ship in the remastered version. If you watch the original version, then there's 3 of these D7s that the Klingons supposedly gave to the Romulans. But we all know it's because they kind of needed to use the miniature. And also because the miniature was allegedly destroyed or lost, or it went somewhere. Bit of a shame somebody's stapled this in a little bit incorrectly, so it's got a bit of an overlap. But again, you can see there's a little bit of weathering on this in comparison to the model, so it is a little bit darker. And these are in silver rather than kind of being silver painted, so they're a little bit shinier. But overall, Am I really that bothered? Not really. I still think they've done a cracking job on the model, but it does emphasise just where all the join lines are as well on this picture, and how much of the join that they actually did put into the model. Some nice detailing as well on the bird of prey that's on the bottom. Again, really, really nice bit of detailing done there. And one of the best bits here is this section on the designs of Hua Chang, sorry, and the instruments that he designed, from the bird of prey to the tricorder, and things within the series. And there's even a really nice picture of the ship when it was delivered to the studio, so it's unmarked, unpainted, so it's got no decals on it at all, and it just looks great. And I think this is a really, really nice magazine. So there's only 4 pages, which is dedicated to Hua Chang. Then we have a bit of detail on the Romulan incident, Empire Before the Termite incident, which was the bit when they went into isolation between before Star Trek Next Generation, when they reappeared in the neutral zone. So there's a little bit on that in there as well, and that's 4 pages of that. Again, there's that picture of the Romulan Bird-of-Prey from the remastered series in there, and Star Trek 5. Amazingly, there's a picture from Star Trek 5 in the magazine. Never saw that one coming. And the 2 episodes they use are Balanced Terror and Deadly Years, which were the original appearances of the ship, because it wasn't originally in the Enterprise incident. It was added in. But again, and that 3rd picture, so they use that picture 3 times. That's used 3 times within this magazine. There's 1 picture from the Enterprise incident remastered. But hey, there you go. And just over quickly to next time, Borg Tactical Cube. Really looking forward to seeing what that one looks like. Very interesting design with this tactical stuff on tactical armor that they added onto the Borg Cube. Could be a nice little issue. But overall, a pretty good one. Just to give you an idea, the back cover of it is, of course, the underside. And for usual, my magazine's got fingerprints all over it, because I've read it about 3 times. But there you go. A really, really nice ship. A great addition to the series. I don't know what Ben was worried about, because you know what? These original series ships, I think, are going to be one of the highlights of the series overall. And I would thoroughly recommend everybody to get them. Hopefully yours won't have those couple of little errors at the back that mine has. But there you go. So next time we've got the Borg Tactical Cube and the USS Relativity, which will be issues 58 and 59. So we will see you then. If you've enjoyed the videos, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, drop over to the main blog and see what kind of stuff we're doing on there about everything else to do with the Star Trek, and we will talk to you soon.
Transfer complete.